If you were to shoot a movie about yourself, what would the title be?
Oh my God. I was going to say the first thing that came to my head.
What's the first thing that came to your head?
It's going to be really bad though.
How bad in which way?
The Young and the Reckless.
The Young and the Reckless.
It just came to me.
Why? That's not a bad title, though.
I know, but like...
Wouldn't you want to watch a movie about The Young and the Reckless?
I would, but I'm not sure if I would make it...
It's better than Young and Famous.
Okay, so this morning... Oh, no, that was shade. Oh, that was shade. Wow. You're quick with it, too. So this morning, I had a very weird conversation with myself as well. Why did you ask me that question? So I had a very funny conversation with myself this morning because I have conversations with myself and I'm not crazy. I just love talking to myself.
Okay. Is it in your head or in front of a mirror?
In my head.
Okay.
That would just be weird.
Okay. I do it in front of a mirror.
Oh my God, that's weird. So I was thinking,
yeah.
If I were to talk to my kids and I would tell them about my youth and my younger days, what would I tell them? And I kept saying, am I going to tell them about my youth or like all of it? Or am I going to take out like the midlife crisis? Like, do you do that? Like,
but are you asking me?
Exactly. Like
I don't take out the midlife crisis.
You put it in there?
Yeah, I think that's what makes the story real.
It was rough.
Kwa na uhalisia fulani. Lakini pia inaweza kusaidia wakati wewe unamwambia hiyo story kujitambua kitu fulani kuhusu na yeye pia kuelewa kitu fulani kuhusu mshua.
But you know what I liked about it is like for the first time I am able to separate my youth from my midlife crisis because sometimes it's so like twisted up in there and you feel like it was all one part.
But Grace, aren't you supposed to be having the midlife crisis now?
I grew up too fast.
Okay. So, Young and Reckless. Why? Why that title? Karibu kwenye Msasa, where we talk to successful people about failure.
I've always been the odd one out in my family. Like, my family are very responsible people.
Okay.
Yeah, they're overachievers and very sensible people. And we don't have creatives in my family.
Kabisa.
No.
Babu, bibi,
my bibi loved to sing, but she was a choir. She was a church singer.
Okay.
And we do this very weird thing. My family, whenever we would gather, hata kama ni watu watano, at some point it would just randomly break out into a song. It's very weird. Like, especially after the alcohol, like you just start singing. And the funniest thing is my earliest memories of that is when I was very, very young. And my moms and my uncles would be sitting in somewhere on just, over Christmas festivities and they just break out in a song. So it's been very usual in my family. But the moment you say, Mom, I want to be a musician, that's when the trouble starts.
Kama you're taking it too seriously.
Exactly. It's not that deep.
Yeah. Pia unajua ni paka hivi karibuni there's some careers kitanzania unaweza kusema it's a career.
Yeah.
Like being a football player, being a musician.
My mom still sends me work ads.
Sindio? See, umesoma sasa. Sindio, this is the whole point. Unajua?
It's like I took you to school.
Yeah. And this is not really a job. Are you done with the hobby yet? Yeah. Okay. You feel like you were reckless, though?
Yeah.
How so? In a young way or in a reckless way?
In a young way.
Okay.
And I think it's very important. Actually, the reason I was having that conversation with myself today is because I have 2 kids.
Yeah.
I know, they're about to be teenagers. And, and they're getting to that age where you actually have, like, you need to have reason to why you're telling them.
You can't just tell them.
Yeah, you can't tell them because I said so. Like, you get to that age and it has to make sense. And they would ask you life questions. They no longer ask you, like, how do you, like, spell this? They ask you, like, Mom, is it okay to get a boyfriend? And at what age,
What's the answer to that?
I don't have one yet.
Never.
Because their dad
Boys
was
are bad.
like...
I'm kidding.
The dad was like, when you are married? I was like, how does that work?
You get the boyfriend when you're married.
I know. I was like, how does that work? It's like they'll go on a date when they're married,
Yeah.
But so I think you get to that age and you're like, was it all bad, or was it all just young and experimental and human? Yeah, I really try to separate those. Those chapters you're not very, they say in your life book, there are a couple, everybody has a life book, and there are a couple chapters you read out very loud and proudly, and there are chapters you read out, unasoma taratibu ni kimoyomoyo. You can't even read them out proud.
Yeah.
And I think most of the time, unfortunately, when we look back, it's really easy to see only those parts which you're not very proud of. And like you say, we always
the bad,
exactly, we're always stuck on the negative. So when I say young and reckless, it wasn't like bad reckless. It was very human. It was very humbling, if I can say.
It sounds like you've forgiven yourself.
I have, and it's a beautiful space to be.